hope is lost! I'll seal the fissure for good! Great work, but questions still remain. I shall return to my order and report all that has happened. Until we meet again.
Such vibrant greens, such rich blues. I've never seen colors so resplendent before. How does one capture something as beautiful as this vista? Even with magic enchanting my brush, the challenge feels insurmountable. What aren't I sketching may be a more apt question. Every direction I look is inspiring. Every ray of light a muse, uncovering this land's natural beauty. Once again, you've asked me such a daunting question. Perhaps it's the massive trees that have stood east of Galen for thousands of years, or maybe the druidic stones with their delicate carvings. Beauties both man-made and natural abound. Wherever my muse takes me, along the riverbed, through the glen, atop the mountains, there are wonders great and small here. Oh, I certainly wish I brought more parchment.
We fought well. Never yields. I hope I was of some assistance. Another find for your pack.
This one was impressed by your fights at Thizrini.
Do you have time to help some? Well, fawns aren't exactly defenseless creatures, but they are in danger. Just because they're intelligent creatures doesn't mean that they don't need help. The herd is suffering because a wolf pack moved in. The great beasts are eating every creature in sight. It's only a matter of time before they eat the fawns too. No, definitely not. I want someone to take these fast-growing seeds and plant them throughout Fawn's thicket. Fawns love the taste of the berries, but wolves can't stand them. I can offer a reward if you're inclined to assist me. I'll mark the places in Fawn's thicket where you should plant the seeds. Once the fawns start eating, the wolves won't go near them. They really can't stand the smell. We'll be planting seeds as well, but we'll stop by to see how you're doing. The fawn herd has lived in this location since before druids settled on Galen. Even Druid Medena chose this thicket to study them. Besides, I adore them. They're smart and playful, like little Mohair here. Oh, watch out, he might try to eat your pack. You haven't heard of her? She inspired me to become a druid. She's an elder now, but in her youth, she came here to study the fawns. She learned so much about them, how they interact and how clever they are. Her love of fawns became mine. The truth is, until she came here, no one knew much about fawns. They were mainly seen as cunning pests. She was the first druid to really delve into how the herds worked. I believe her efforts resulted in fewer fawn deaths and deeper understanding. I know what you're thinking. How did a wood elf become a Stone Lord druid? I wasn't satisfied with just following the Green Pact. It wasn't enough. So I came to Galen to find myself. Turns out I fell right in with the Stone Lord Circle. They were the only ones who would talk to me at first. The other circles don't like outsiders. Even now, they struggle to accept that I'm one of them. Still, I've gotten good at convincing the Elder Tide not to attack me. And having Mohair helps. The wolf pack's usual prey was decimated by a blight last season, so they came here to hunt. They're starting with smaller prey, but it's only natural for them to hunt the fawns next. I want to keep that from happening. Hey, I'm a druid. Knowing this kind of nature stuff is sort of part of the job description. Those seeds grow exceedingly fast and produce berries that Mohair loves. Wolves, on the other hand, hate the way they smell. Just a whiff makes them run. Haven't you heard? You are what you eat. After a few meals, the fawns will smell like the berries. Plus, I had these seeds infused with magic. They'll sprout when you plant them. The fawns will have plenty to eat and the wolves will leave them be. There was an incident with his herd. The guards outside Vastir thought that the local fawns were attacking them. They weren't. Still, Mohair was the only survivor. Fawn herds are close-knit families. They wouldn't just accept an outsider, especially not one who's small or weak. Still, Mohair helps me convince stubborn outsiders that fawns aren't terrible creatures. He's like an ambassador to Man and Mer. I'm probably more like a bossy sister. We get along, but he still tries to irk me when he's bored. I keep him out of danger, but I can't control him. Especially at this age. He's more rebellious than I was in my youth.
glad you made it, Five Claw. Ross thinks we should split up. The letters mentioned water, so let's head for the far side of the thicket. See you there. Time is not on our side, Five Claw. Let's find Redblade. This must be it. Let's get inside. Ronia must be here somewhere, and likely she's not alone. Time to put on our serious faces, my friend. Ronia, Redblade, whatever she calls herself. She must be here somewhere. Look at that ship! It must be the vessel that carried the Aquilarius bequest years ago. We need a plan, Five Claw. Luckily, Roz came with one prepared. We must get dramatic. We collapse the cavern, bury the ship, and deny the world the Aquilarius bequest. There's enough stone in this cavern to ensure this treasure is never, ever found. What do you think? Eve didn't exactly impress Raz with the quality of his operation. Who knows how many people are aware of this place? And if the Covenant, the Pact, or even the Dominion found out, Galen could become a new front in the Three Banners War. Raz hung back in Vastir to get these. Some alchemical charges. He had them made specially by a Vindusk Ranger for an operation that never happened. Look for the pillars holding up the ceiling. Place one on each, and when we're ready, boom! Raz will place the charges this way. You follow the path and place the others. Good luck, Fight Club.
The eyes mean nothing to me now. The bequest belongs to Captain Redblade.
Damn
are! Move your paws and let's get out of here!
We're still standing. Be proud of that.
It's done, Five Claw. Whew. The Aquilarios bequest is buried for good. And you saw to it that Ronia, that Red Blade, won't be sailing the Abyssion ever again. Raz could use a break. First, Raz will sleep for a week. Then he will report to the Queen. This one thinks he may just leave Ronia's name out of his report. But you, Five Claw, are someone worth mentioning. Here, as promised, your reward. Moons keep you safe. Who knows? Perhaps Raz will meet a nice druid boy while he is here. This one likes plans as much as the next Khajiit. Galen really is quite beautiful, yes? Of course, of course. You would think Raz was going to curl up and fall asleep right here at your feet. Huh. Actually, that is not a bad idea. Raz hopes so, Five Claw. Most folk believe the treasure was just a story anyway. And if anyone follows hints from Vastir to the caves, well, they'll have to dig out a mountainside for even a handful of coins. In this one's opinion, a job well done. Not great, kitten, not great. Raz wishes he could say he was even surprised, but he's not. This war. Raz knows in his heart the Dominion is on the right side of things, but it has gone on so long, and so things like this will continue to happen. Ah, kitten, Raz could tell you, but then he'd have to kill you. Do not worry. You wouldn't feel a thing. And he would be most respectful with your remains.
Great work! Let me see how it's growing. These berries are growing in nicely. They'll be ready for the fawns in no time. Nicely done. Let's keep at it. These seeds won't plant themselves.
Stow your weapons, my friend. We've won.
This spot is even nicer than I expected. Let me check on the berries. Well, these sure grew in nicely. No, look how happy Mohair is.
I take no pleasure in killing, but I'm glad we're alive and they're not. Stendarr see you safely to your rest.
Younger fawns play up here. They'll love these berries. Yes! The fruit is starting to bud! How exciting! Let's regroup outside Fawn's thicket. Leave the herd to find the berries on their own. We planted all the seeds I brought with me. Let's leave and let the fawns find the berries on their own. I learned long ago that they like to discover food for themselves. Mohair is really excited. He kept running to each of the berry plants and back to me. I'm pretty sure there are more brambles in his fur than I've ever seen before. You made this little fawn very happy. And the herd too, I suspect. Did you hear that fawn's joyful bray? Happy fawns are hungry fawns, and they'll discover the plants soon enough. Once the berries become part of their diet, the wolves will leave them alone. Here, my purse isn't large, but you helped save this herd. Thank you again for your help. I can't abide preventable deaths, but now I won't have to imagine fawns like little Mohair here getting gobbled up by a hungry wolf. As safe as anything that lives in the wild can be. Mohair and I will come check on the herd every now and then to see how they're getting along. Plant a few more berries if necessary. No, the fawns and wolves need some time to settle in. If we stayed and observed, then I'd be more likely to intervene too early. We'll stay in the area, but I won't check on the herd for a while. Mohair will let me know if something goes wrong. He let me know when the herd was frightened of the wolves. I don't know if he caught a scent or if he heard the fawns call from far away. Fawns are miraculous creatures. Did you know they have magic? I learn something new about them every day. We were thinking about heading toward Vastir. There's always newcomers there to educate about fawns. Besides, It's been a while since we visited the Vine District, and there are some folks who'd love to see how big Mohair's getting. Right, Mohair? Want to say goodbye to the herd before we leave? I keep hoping he'll rejoin a herd, but he always comes back to me. Thank you again for your help. I can't abide preventable deaths, but now I won't have to imagine fawns like little Mohair here getting gobbled up by a hungry wolf.
I'm turning into a tree. A tree, Octon!
At least your bark is beautiful. I got turned into a floaty orb thing.
You know, it'd be a lot easier to translate this tablet if I had some quiet. Not now. I'm trying to translate ancient writing off this broken tablet.
See this? I'm covered in bark. I'm turning into a tree. Druid Fennis is doing his best to determine the nature of the curse, but we're going to need more help. I'd give everything we ever stole to fix this. My cousin, Octon, over there, that's how this happened. We went to procure equipment from Fawn's Thicket. Octon picked up a stone tablet, but he's as graceful as a drunk sow when he's figuring out our profits. He dropped it and poof! Look at him! We have to break the curse! Druid Fennis is trying to figure out what that entails, but he can't do it alone. I'm covered in bark, and Octon's got no body. We could really use some help. Don't make me beg. Please. You're willing to help? That's perfect! I'm not really sure about Druid Fennis, and Octon usually handles the logistics. I was worried I was going to have to rely on myself, and that never turns out well. Talk to the druid, see if he has any ideas. Octon's always been the thinker. I'm the impulsive one, so when the tablet broke and Octon disappeared into a ball of energy, I thought he got vaporized. I went to pick up the broken pieces of stone before I even realized what I was doing. I started to turn into a tree and I panicked. I suppose Octon took the brunt of the curse since he transformed immediately. I'm changing slowly. Maybe that means the tablet blames me more. I don't know. Maybe because I didn't stop Octon from breaking it, or that we procured it without asking permission. I don't know how any druid magic works. That's why we asked Fennis to help. He's a druid. He knows about this stuff. He grumbled something about his responsibilities as a Stone Lord druid. If you ask me, I think he's hoping to convince us to give back all the equipment we took. Procured. He probably knows the druid it belongs to. But she left it to rot. No idea. Seems fairly irresponsible to me. Anyone could just pick it up, break it, and get cursed. Maybe she wanted to keep people like Octon and me from stealing her research? Druid Fennis said he might be able to help, so we're letting him. Fawn's Thicket. Some druid went there to study the fawns and left all her things behind. It's a little old and outdated, but our fence said we could get a good price for whatever we brought him. Not stealing, procuring. That old place is abandoned. The druids are content to just let nature claim it. But there's someone on this island who will pay a lot of gold for some dusty journals and stuff. We couldn't pass up the opportunity. This adventurer agreed to help us. Does that help solve our problem?
An adventurer, eh? That explains the boots.
An adventurer? Come here. I'll tell you how to help.
You should talk to Druid Fennis. He's the expert here. I think. Expert in translations. He's helping us. Yes, you should definitely talk to him. A Breton. Or at least I was. Now I look for my legs and all I see are wisps of blue essence. I think I'm roundish. An orb? And I feel small. Finis, the druid over there, laughed when he saw me. I must look ridiculous. Am I a sprite? A wisp? I suppose it could be worse. I could be a net. All those limbs? No, thank you. It was an accident. No idea what went wrong. One moment I could see, the next, no eyes at all. Don't ask me how I know you're there. I have no idea.
It's good of you to offer to help, Outsider. Fire and foliage, that's the key to reversing the curse. If we repair what's broken, then the curse will be lifted. At least, that's what I can make out from the text carved into this stone. Heat to prepare the sap, and sap to bind the stone. The inscription mentions those two ingredients at length. I'll send Jocelyn to an area outside of Embervine. The lava pools there create fire shards, rocks that retain extreme heat. Meet Jocelyn near Embervine. I'll give her a spell to retrieve a fire shard, but she shouldn't touch them herself. Even with the spell, she's too flammable in her current state. After that, meet Ogden near the sacred tree to the north to get the sap. I need to continue to work on the translation. There's something about this text. A word I can't translate. From the way the sentence lines up, it's nothing good. This curse is already potent enough. I'm worried about what else it might do. I hoped that this would be simple, but no. The writing is complex and made all the harder to translate because of the broken stone. Find Jocelyn by the lava pools to the east, near Embervine. Then go north to meet Ogden by the sacred tree. It's in an obscure druidic script. Luckily, I've made a study of such writing. This one, however, is different. I have no idea what it was doing with Druid Modena's things. It would be a lot easier if they hadn't cracked the tablet, I assure you. An elder in the Stonelore Circle. She used to study the fauns, but one day she decided she was finished, left all her equipment behind. These two tried to help themselves to it, and look what happened. But I'll figure out how to break this curse. I resolved to help them before I even knew how this tablet came into their possession. This curse is druidic in nature, so it must be a druid who undoes it. Whatever Jocelyn and Ogden's past intentions, they don't deserve this fate. The writing on the tablet is in an ancient druidic script. It would take a Mages Guild wizard too much time to decipher it and understand the process needed to break the curse. Ogden and Jocelyn don't have long before the change becomes permanent. I know. It's my sincere hope that they'll return the tablet, and anything else they stole, once this ordeal is over. And hopefully, this will teach them to avoid druidic sites in the future.
There's something wrong, but I don't know what. I'm just different. It's like my mind is... Ooh, feel that? It's going to storm later. You can tell by the energy in the air.
I don't care what that druid says. I am not going near the lava pools. I'll meet you here, where it's safe. Don't worry. I can cast a spell if it's written down clearly. You should be able to retrieve one of the fire shards after that.
Any battle we can walk away from, eh? Oh, nice. What did you find?
An outsider? Well, if this is Ifray's will... Come here, outsider I fear for my wife, my Gwenaël. A group of Firesong druids attacked our home in Ifray's path. I managed to escape the slaughter, but Gwenaël's still in there. I tried to go back for her, but the path has grown more dangerous. Yes, outsider. Animals lash out. The spirit motes that once inspired us blanket the land in a thick fog. The spirit of the path may be injured or frightened. I do not know what the Firesong want or how they turn my home against me. The spirit of Ifray's path. We call it the Chronicle. We Eldertide made our home here to care for and tend to the spirit. Outsider, I'm trusting you. I'm putting my wife's safety in your hands. Help me find her, and I will see you well rewarded. The entrance to the path is just over there. I'll meet you on the steps down into the Sacred Valley. There we can find out what happened to my Gwenaël. But first, let me bless you against the dangers within. Besides the Firesong druids, the very air is thick with spirit motes. You'll see them once we enter the valley. The worst are the animals, though. They frighten me. Crocodiles, wolves, ursoks, among others. The animals in the path are usually docile. We feed them, care for them. Now they attack without provocation. For things to be so out of balance, it goes against my understanding of nature. It started after their attack, but I've never seen a druid who could control the spirit motes before. Only the Chronicle commands them, chooses when to release them, and what story they carry. I have no clue what's happening here. Yes. We're members of the Eldertide Circle. You're fortunate that I need your assistance. Outsiders aren't usually permitted to set foot in our sacred sites. But if Ray sent you, so who am I to question that? 3. Eldertide, Stonelaw, and Firesong. Stonelaw are adequate druids, but they stay close to betraying the true way. Accepting outsiders? The Firesong are reclusive, but they never attacked other druids before. You're not a druid. You don't belong on the Sisters Archipelago. Still, I'll set aside my animosities for Gwenale. She's my bubbling spring. She soothes the burns of life and cools my harsh temper. We need to save her. I've been searching the perimeter of the path since the attack, and I've seen no one else. I can't believe I left without her. If I'd only stopped to see if she followed, she'd be safe. If she dies, I'll never forgive myself. Ifray's path is a sacred place, with a small community of druids to look after it. Ifray set the spirit here, the one we call the Chronicle. It shares stories with us, shows us events that happened long ago. Through the blessings of the spirit motes, Ifray is the storyteller. All of nature comes from Ifray, but so do our tales and songs. The Chronicle utilizes both aspects of its creator. Particles released by the Chronicle. Normally we breathe in the gift of the spirit and experience the story it wishes us to see. A vision, you might call it. Perfectly safe. Except I've never seen such large clouds of spirit motes before. Oh, Ifray, let no overcast skies or snaring vines cloud the intention of our thoughts.
That could be helpful. Ifray's power trembles! Someone has disturbed the balance! It's going to blow! I'll try to contain it, but I can't do it alone! It's happening! Look out! The eruption is causing a chain reaction! I need you to hold back these infernal monsters while I seal the fissures! Don't let them reach the vent! Side by side! Spirits of the earth, help repair these vents. You're doing great! Just a bit longer! Spirit of water, help us! Quench this land! Another vent sealed! Let me seal this! It's too much! I can't hold it! You must kill it! Hurry! For good! Great work, but questions still remain. I shall return to my order and report all that has happened. Until we meet again.
Looking forward to seeing what you make with that. Riding with you is quite the journey. Look around us.
Ah, Aphie, isn't this place wondrous? I'm positively enchanted by the primitive styles of the architecture.
You're
What
not
could it
paying
all
me for
mean?
conversation. The amount of coin would be enough to respond to your mindless ranting. I'm starting to think that I've been underpaid for this job. Didn't expect to have to tolerate so much inane nattering. Yes, but if I had known how much endless prattling I'd have to endure, I'd never have taken the contract. No amount of coin is worth this dolt's interpretations of rock carvings and moss readings. I'm at my wit's end. I've been sorely tempted, believe me, but my honor and my conscience tells me leaving this fool to his own devices would be a death sentence. One he doesn't entirely deserve. Well, not yet, anyway. The gold be damned now. It was the allure of getting out of Skyrim. But now, well, I just have to make sure he doesn't end up entangled by one of those druids, or a chew toy to one of these beasts.
Ah, here I thought I so expertly captured the local culture as to render me invisible. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You must have recognized my dashing smile from the tomes I've penned. Ignatius Galenus, famed scholar, charmed, I'm sure. It is my duty as a scholar to transcribe the wilds of this forbidden island, so the rest of Tamriel may imagine its savageries from the comfort of their studies. A simple misunderstanding between myself and the local druids. They mistook my gestures for rudeness, and, well, we shouldn't dwell on the past. I'm sure all has been forgiven by now. Probably. Aphie, protect me? Preposterous. No, she's here to assist with menial tasks that could otherwise impede my research. Speaking of which, I must be off soon. This has been a lovely reprieve, but there is much left to record. Right. All the best to you.